Solving trig equations using identities. First, we will be writing the identities we're going to be using for the next three examples. The first one is sine of 2x is equal to sine x cosine x. And then cosine of 2x is equal to cosine square of x minus 1. And then cosine square of x plus sine square of x is equal 1. Let's start with a simple example. Solve sine of 2x is equal sine x. We're going to be using this identity. Sine of 2x is equal to sine x, so we replace sine of 2x by 2 sine x cosine x is equal sine x. We want to have 0 on the right side, and you'll see why. So we're going to subtract sine x from both sides. So we have 2 sine x cosine x minus sine x is equal 0. The reason why we subtract sine x from both sides, because now we can factor sine x. So you factor sine x, we get 2 cosine x minus 1 is 0. Now we know if the product of two numbers is 0, one of them gotta be 0. So the first number, which is sine x, has to be 0, or the second number, which is 2 cosine x minus 1, has to be 0. Now this means that sine x is 0, or 2 cosine x is 1, which means cosine x is 1/2. Sine x equals 0 means the angle x is quadrantal. So let's draw it here. Let's do the circle. If we do the unit circle, this is 1, 0, negative 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, minus 1. Remember, sine is always the y-coordinate. So sine of x is 0, sine of x is 0. So the angle that's going to come from this point will be x is equal 0 degrees, and the angle that comes from here is pi. This is pi. So x is equal pi. Let's add to the question where we want the angle to be between what and what. So sine of 2x is equal to sine x. So let's assume we want x to be between 0 degrees and 2 pi. Now to solve cosine of x is equal 1/2, cosine of x is equal 1/2 means cosine is positive. So the cosine is positive means it's in the first quadrant. So x is here in the first quadrant, or it's in the fourth quadrant, which means this is your x. Now let's do the reference triangle. This is the reference triangle. This is the reference triangle. Now cosine of x is equal 1/2 means the adjacent is 1, and this is 2. This is 1 and this is 2. So this has to be square root of 3, negative square root of 3, and this has to be square root of 3. Now remember, you need to memorize the angles of this triangle. This is 30 degrees, and this is the opposite side is always 1, and this is 2, this is square root of 3, and this angle has to be 60 degrees. One way to memorize this triangle, the sides and the angles, is just remember one is the opposite side of 30 degrees. Now this means that this is my 30 degrees, which means this is 60 degrees. This is the angle of reference that we need, and also means this is 60 degrees. So this means that x is going to be equal 60 degrees, which is in radian pi over 3, or this one will be the whole revolution, which is 2 pi minus this angle 60 degrees, which is pi over 3, which means x is equal 6 pi minus pi is 5 pi over 3. So we got pi over 3, 5 pi over 3, we have pi, and then we got 0 degrees. So x is equal, let's start from the smallest, 0 degrees, or 0 radian, pi over 3, pi, and then 5 pi over 3. And that's enough for this example.